Truth Speaks. It is provocative. It is thought-provoking. It is bold and embodies the very nature of both the human experience and the human condition.
All right, folks, welcome to the Truth Speaks podcast, where truth is shared through real conversations with real people. I'm your host, Dee Mosley, and we're broadcasting from YD Creative Studios. Joining us today is a personality that is known across Muskogee County and beyond, probably Atlanta. She is an amazing person whom I am so excited to meet. Joining us today is the amazing E Jene. Hello. Thank you for gracing our sofa. Yes, I'm so excited to have you. I cannot wait to dive into, we're going to let the folks know who you are by way of giving them some information from the bio that you sent our producers, and we're just going to kind of reveal who you are from this whole conversation that we're going to have. So we're going to dive into your bio. Is that all right?
That's perfect.
Good deal. So again, joining us on the Truth Speaks sofa today is the remarkable E Jene, an award-winning author and best-selling novelist. She has captivated audiences with her spellbinding science fiction fantasy novels. That is a mouthful. Her journey as an author began in 2020, inspired by the tragic loss of her niece, Mackenzie Adams, to suicide. This profound event transformed E Jene into a beacon of hope and a motivational force, channeling her grief into purpose. With a strong academic background from Faulkner University, good school, she combines expertise in urban planning, international business, psychology, and sociology, showcasing her intellectual versatility. Her literary works, including the acclaimed What Death Do We Part and the best-selling Living Life After Death series, have made her a literary powerhouse. Jene's creativity extends beyond the written word. She has successfully transitioned her novels into compelling films available on major streaming platforms. Proceeds from these films support the Mackenzie Foundation, which uplifts children through its annual toy drive. As a dynamic radio host on Love 860 AM Atlanta and K92.7 FM Columbus, E Jene connects with listeners through her warmth and her insight. I can't believe that. Her presence is equally magnetic on the red carpet and at charity events. I like that. A dedicated advocate for victims of bullying, she is a well sought after speaker on topics like bullying prevention and suicide awareness, continually inspiring and fostering healing within our communities. E Jene embodies the transformative power of storytelling and advocacy. There you have it, creating a legacy of hope and change. Again, girl, thank you for sitting with me on the Truth Speaks sofa.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's get into it. First and foremost, tell us about the titles of your books. What's the reason behind the names of the titles?
Okay, so when it comes to Mackenzie, all of this stems from Mackenzie. I've been doing, of course, radio for years, like 15 years at this point, and so I was just doing radio, enjoying it. But when Mackenzie passed, she committed suicide back in 2018. It really changed everybody's life that was connected to my family, my niece.
Of course.
And and for me, I was like, how did this happen?
Of course.
How did this happen to us?
Didn't see it coming, right?
Having my mom be in the background of mental health. My mom was a mental health social worker for like 25 years. So how did this happen? And that just was, of course, I was at a situation such as I was at a radio station, met a writing coach, and everybody was like, oh, you should write about this. And because we did sue the school system, we're still in litigation with that as well, even 6 years later.
So there are still some things that you cannot.
We can't talk
right.
about.
Mm-hmm.
But just know we didn't give up, and even our attorneys, and they didn't give up, because everybody see it, because there's still more things that are happening as we have been through ourselves.
Right.
So the name of the book is called What Death Do We Part 1 and 2, and that came from marriage because I couldn't write about what was going on, so I had to write about relationships.
For now, until everything
tell
until you can tell the story.
Absolutely.
Wow.
So is what death do we part? Not, in the vows it said until death do us part, but the books are what death do we part? Like, how much will you take? Or how much did it take before you was like, I'm done? And that's what book series 1 and 2 is about. And then Living Life After Death part 1 and 2. When I wrote those, people was like, you writing about death? Actually,
right?
not. I'm writing about how we live this physical life without the loved one that we just lost to death.
Exactly. And that was kind of evident to me. Just hearing, living life after death and knowing what you all have gone through,
right.
And just pouring all of this experience that you all as a family are experiencing. Because of how Mackenzie transitioned. And it sounds like everything that you're involved in now in the work that you do is to pay homage to her.
Yes.
And to let her and the world know and your family know that there's a work in this to be done. So living life after death.
Yes.
Her life has given your life and your family's life purpose. So I get it.
Yes.
I get it. So how do you? And we're going to get to the questions on the paper, I promise. But how do you day to day, waking up every day, knowing that you have a charge to keep, that you've promised to yourself and Mackenzie? How do you navigate that?
Every day is different because people don't know, because it's a lot that, even my sister has actually come aboard with the Mackenzie Foundation, and I built it for her. I didn't build it for me. I just had to be the face because I had to be my sister's
because you're the face
in the beginning.
You're a face in the community.
Right. And so I had to take that charge for my sister.
And sometimes we do have to do that. We have to we have to be for lack of a better word, we have to be the sacrifice for our families to see what they can't see. And sometimes it takes that. They don't see it until they see it.
Yes.
So is that where you felt that? Do you feel like that's what you had to do for your sister?
I did have to do that for her because I had to let her know that Mackenzie life is still changing people's lives.
Absolutely.
I was at an event last week, and a young
her
lady,
life matters.
Her life still matters. Her life is still saving people.
Yes.
When that came to me, as we were going, because if you've never planned a funeral, forget for it just any before a child.
Yeah.
And then the things that came with that, because we had insurance, and because she was declared suicide, the insurance didn't even pay.
Yeah.
So we've paid into a policy for 9 years.
Yeah.
And now we can't.
And thinking
use
of
it.
that in
it's
itself.
So many different things that
that you're still dealing with.
Part that I have to go fight from the policies to the
Absolutely.
school. And that's why I needed my sister to step up. And I understand it's hard, but the more she's stepping up to help me take over this, the more she's healing, because
that's what I was about to say. This is a healing.
Yes,
this
is a healing
for
process.
her.
Yes.
And she had to see it,
Yes.
See you walking and working in it for her to, process beyond.
Yes.
I've lost my baby.
Absolutely.
And now she's in that place where she can walk in it and heal in it while she's helping, advocating for Mackenzie and other children that find themselves and mothers.
That's the one. That's the word, mother. I was the aunt. So sometimes people like, well, she just an auntie. She trying to get. I'm not trying to get anything. I'm trying to be here for my sister, and I want to get you connected with her because y'all share this.
Right.
I don't.
Right.
My daughter's alive. My niece is
not. Exactly.
However, she was like a daughter to me.
Right.
But that wasn't my child.
Right.
And I always had that, but I had to ignore that because the picture,
the tunnel vision,
is way bigger than what anybody could see even 6 years ago. And I had to keep my eye there so that my sister could be here where we're going in the future with the Mackenzie Foundation.
And even though it's tough, because I can feel it.
Yes.
Even though it's tough for us, it takes those of us who see the bigger picture.
Right.
And I hear that so very much so in what you're saying, when you said that you saw the vision and you understand the ministry of it all. It's not just an organization. It's not just a nonprofit.
Right.
It's not just the fight for Mackenzie. It is the ministry. It's all of that. It's all encompassing. And it's amazing how God uses all of our life experiences for us to walk out our purpose. And sometimes, it's hard for us to see it until we can see it.
Yeah.
So, but let's move into. We just talked about what inspired you to transition, or to what inspired your novels. But what inspired you to transition those novels into films? Because I took a quick peek. I did a little research, even if it meant scrolling Facebook a little bit. I think I saw a little trailer. What's happening with that? We got a film debut happening and coming. What's going on with that?
So again, Mackenzie is the forefront. Of everything that I do, and that's been for the past 6 years. And I've book 1 and book 2. Book 1 is already a film. It's been a film for 3 years.
Oh,
it
wow.
will be debuting on Tubi real soon. We are going
Congratulations.
through the
process of that. Yeah. It's a lot.
Yes. And then film 2 will come out Mother's Day weekend, and I was intentional of doing it on Mother's Day
That is
weekend.
beautiful.
I just want to share why. Again, this is about Mackenzie and my sister.
Absolutely. I knew you were going to say that.
So my sister usually shuts herself in on Mother's Day.
For obvious reasons.
I said, you're not going to do that.
Right.
This year, I want you to get the love that people give to me, that I have to transition to you by film or send a video or whatever I do to let you know that people love you.
Right.
You're going to be there.
Right.
If I have to go and strap you on top of my car like they did
right.
Because I need you to know this is your time.
Yeah.
This is your time.
Yeah.
She will be honored. I'm going to give her flowers. I'm going to call her to the stage, and I want people to give her a standing ovation. I know she's not the only one, but she's my one.
She's your sister.
That's my baby.
Yeah. And it's a lot of it is you're protecting her and taking her by the hand to walk through this healing journey.
Absolutely. And for any mother that is there, or father, or whoever, I'm going to ask them to stand and even join her on stage if you've lost a child.
I love
because
it.
This is more than just about a show. This is your life.
It's life.
This is
and
your
ministry.
heart. This is what you've endured, and you can still stand.
Mm.
And if you can still stand through that, baby, y'all bad. I'm not that strong. You the strong one.
I love
People
it.
think I'm strong.
I love it.
I didn't lose my baby. My
Right.
sister did.
Right.
And this is gonna be her. Oh, she coming. I don't care how she
Right,
looking.
listen.
You coming.
Look,
You
we
gonna
doing
be
all
here.
of that. We're gonna go get the hair done, the makeup.
Yes.
It's a whole
It's a whole
thing.
for
Yeah,
her.
literally.
Because I want her to see the love that people have for her in her eyes.
Absolutely.
She has to see this.
And you're planning it. You're planning a whole debut. Do you all have the logistics, all the details? Are you still working on that? No, still working on it.
That was the first one I did because I'm taking it back home to Demopolis, Alabama, where I was born and raised.
That is
I
amazing.
have rented out the entire movie theater.
Oh wow.
So where I used to see my Disney shows,
I love it. I love
you're gonna
it.
watch my movie and my niece.
Come
on
on,
the same
debut.
film.
In the hometown,
with 390
at home.
seats, and I expect my city to show up for my sister,
Mm.
not for me.
Demopolis is
Demopolis, Alabama.
all right. Demopolis, y'all heard it. Y'all heard it
Yes.
out of E Jene's own mouth. She expects it. I expect y'all to be there to show up and show out. And with that, what we're gonna do is we're going to hear from our great supporters and sponsors. I know YouTube doesn't like for us to use that word, but we may edit that out, maybe. But we'll be right back.
Down, I'ma do my stuff. Make it man down. I'ma do my stuff.
And we're back, and we were just talking to E Jene about debuting her film and the beautiful work that you are doing, and how Mackenzie inspired you to do what you are doing and the work that you do. So talk to us a little bit about, and I'm saying this because, you know, we haven't said that it's a nonprofit, but of course, the work that you're doing is nonprofit. Talk to us a little bit about where the proceeds, what do you all do with the proceeds? How are you fulfilling the work?
Super. So I usually don't charge people. like I said, we do a lot of behind the scene work because bullying and suicide is a very touchy situation.
Absolutely.
And most families feel embarrassed about it. And so
it's hard to even talk about it.
It's hard to talk about, but so many people do know about me, my sister and I, and the Mackenzie Foundation, is that they call us, and you know, either I'll go to the hospital, or we go to the homes, or we do like some type of virtual calling for the family, and those are the things that we can't talk about.
Beautiful.
Because that's confidential.
Absolutely.
And I can't tell you the hundreds of people myself and my sister we've tag team or we've done separately, because we get outpours. Anytime a child has committed suicide or been bullied at school, we are the first. It's like,
that's
I have
amazing.
So many
That's
emails.
Amazing.
Even just last night,
a
family reached out. We are not
Hundreds.
Irrelevant at
right.
all. Yes.
But and you just focus on doing the work.
We do
like
the work.
Like you said,
Yes.
that you have that tunnel vision.
Yes.
And not only that, it's confidential, like you said, but not only that, you all, the work is so important to you that you want to make sure that people, that trust factor is there.
That's the word.
I can so appreciate that. This is giving me chills. So like you said, you all are not irrelevant.
We're not irrelevant at all.
But I want people to understand that the work that you do is so important, and it needs the support of proceeds.
Yes. And that's where the books and the movies come from. That helps us continue to do it. And when we go out, we give out buttons. We don't charge for anything.
Right.
We don't. And whatever I get or my sister gets from this, it is usually going to travel. So either the foundation pays for it or we pay out of pocket.
Right.
But like the first 5 years, I've been paying out of pocket.
Right. So in other words, for the people in the back, for the folk in the back, give it a little bit of the side eye, like why you charging me $25 for a seat at my? Because the work. Think about the work. Think about all of us know, if we don't know a child who has committed suicide, we do understand the what our children go through in the school system with bullying, especially in those formative years when they're all trying to figure it out and they don't know what to do with their thoughts and how to process that. They're dealing with that. We can all attest to that. We can all identify with that. So no side eyes, just help the people that are doing the work. So that is my soapbox with that.
Because it can be very draining.
Absolutely.
Especially for my sister.
Not only financially,
but
which is
and
mentally on you. It's heavy. It's heavy.
It's very dark.
Right.
It's a dark place.
Absolutely.
That we have to continue to bring not only ourselves, but the people that we're ministering to out together.
Yeah.
Every time my sister has to relive this session of her child dying from suicide in my mother's house, mind you, every time we go and
each and every time
somebody else come out of where they are.
So the weight is right, and it's a daily weight that you all have chosen to carry. So people need to understand. If I could be a voice for everyone, I just want to say thank you for doing the work, because it's not easy. And those of us who carry the weights of whatever work we do for our communities, people need to understand. I'm not slicing onions. I'm not crying. Let me bring it, pull myself back together. I had to catch myself. Yeah.
In movie 2, Mackenzie in movie 1 as well. She'll be in every movie I do. But movie 2, when I do this thing before we film, we have practice. We have film practice is what I call it, and we do it virtually. And everybody has their script. Everybody has their part. At least a month before we even start, so everybody has everything about 2 months before we actually film. Because when we get there, I need us to rock and roll.
Right.
We don't have time. We in and out of 45 hours. I don't have time. You
Yeah.
don't have time.
Yeah.
Chop chop.
Yeah.
So the book talks about book number 2, What Death Do We Part 2 ends the way we go through the moments of losing Mackenzie in real life. So you have to read the book to see that.
Wow.
I didn't at first want to put it on film because I knew it was a trigger for my family, and I didn't want to do that because I know what we do and I know it can be tough. So
Yes.
I kind of changed it, but as we were reading it, I was like, this is stupid. This doesn't make sense.
Right.
This does not take book 2 to book 3 and makes it. So I had a meeting with my sister and my mom, and I said, this is what I need to do. Are you guys okay with that? I said, because I know you're going to watch it.
Right.
I know you're coming.
Right.
But will you be ready for this? And they was like, we read the book. We good. I said, stop playing with me.
Wow.
They said, no, Edwina, do what you... And Edwina is my real name. That's where E comes from, is Edwina. Jene is my real name.
Yeah,
E Jene.
yeah.
And I was like, don't play with me. They was like, no, seriously.
Do it.
If this is what's going to help the people see what we went through,
Do it.
I said, oh, my God. I called the group of ladies that had that part. I said, I got to have a talk with y'all. I said, my mom and my sister approved. They was like, the original one? I said, yeah. They was like, we're playing. I was like, that's what I said. They was like, so we can do it? I said,
My
yeah. They
goodness.
said, we finna cry. I said, I know.
My goodness.
I said, I know. We gonna cry. I said, but
Yeah, because that's
the way we gonna have to
that's
heal
where the
through this.
healing comes in. You got to be and we had a show last night, and one of the men said that healing comes from being honest.
Yes.
There's no other way around it. You can't play with it. You have to, if you want folks to take you seriously, if you want to settle within yourself and heal for real, you got to tell the truth.
I gotta tell the truth. And that's where I sat. But I didn't want to hurt them anymore.
Right. And I get that.
But I had to.
It had to be done.
It was so dumb. I was just like, this is going to be stupid. I don't think I want to do this.
Right.
Unless I can tell the truth. And when we filmed, every cry that y'all see in the film, it is real.
Real.
Because it hit home.
I believe
for
that.
Everybody that was in the cast and crew had lost someone close to them. Where this particular scene took the entire cast.
Took everybody out.
The cameramen were back there crying. They all walked away.
Production
I was like,
team.
oh my God. And at that moment, I knew that what I do with these books
matters.
and these films not only matter, but it's a ministry.
It's a ministry.
It's
a ministry.
I never knew film
Yeah.
could do that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
supposed
yeah.
to be entertainment,
Yeah.
but it was entertainment to the soul.
When you give God your yes, he will use that yes in whatever capacity he needs to use it, and you walk in your purpose. Your yes is not just in the pulpit in the church. It's beyond the four walls of what we traditionally know church to be. God is he's in all of it. And when we walk in our purpose, we're allowing him to step into those spaces to heal, deliver, and set free.
And I tell you, that cast was set free. From so many, like one of the main characters that plays my sister, she had just lost her mom. Very weird type of transition, and she was not
okay
good with that.
Yeah.
Until that scene.
Moment. She got her breakthrough.
I wrote her into a counseling session because I believe in counseling. So counseling is
me too.
movie one.
Very key.
Counseling is in movie two. I think counseling is in all of my books.
Yeah.
So it's something that I'm bringing out for our community to understand. Go.
Purpose.
You don't go to somebody you know. Go to a stranger.
Yeah.
And that's why me and my sister get so much, because we're strangers to these people that we're talking to.
Yeah, and counseling, like you said, if you feel like you can't talk to the people that are closest to you, at least find an outlet.
Absolutely.
So that you can talk about it. You have no idea, and I'm a full proponent of counseling myself. Get that therapy. Find someone that you can talk to so that you can heal.
Absolutely.
That's all it is. Counseling is, we have got to get away from these stigmas that we've placed on counseling and psychiatry and all of the mental ills that plague us. And it's not just in the Black community, but the stigma in our community is, oh, we don't do that.
Right, and we should.
We need to.
We got to.
We gotta understand that counseling is not. It's good for the soul.
Absolutely.
Just like we go to doctors to heal our physical bodies, counseling is there to help us release what we need. Yes. With that being said, we're gonna take break 2, and we'll be right back.
Damn, I'ma do my stuff. Man, damn, I'ma do my stuff.
And we're back, and we were just talking. We touched on a lot. I'm having such a wonderful conversation. I'm enjoying our conversation. You are touching on what ministry means, what it means to do the work, and stepping into your calling and your purpose with everything that you do, E Jene, including your platform as a we used to call them jocks back in the day.
I don't like that word.
I know, right? I know. But your platform as a radio host, how do you step into that every day to connect with the communities that you serve and to inspire folks?
Super awesome. So I use, on my show, it's commercialized. So, just like yours, we have to pay the bills.
Right.
So I have segments that I talk about. I call it Sunday encouragement, because I'm only on Sundays. So when I talk about that, that's when I'm talking to those people that's been bullied. I'm encouraging you with your heart.
I
your
like
life.
that.
And of course, I'm silly, so I do it in my way. So
yes, I love the bubbly personality. It goes along with everything else.
Yes.
I love it.
So I use that platform, and then when we're out in the community as the radio station, I get the opportunity to love on people, and they see me, and of course, I have the toy drive, and so just different aspects. It all just kind of comes together.
Yeah.
Even though it seems like it's everywhere, but it's really not.
Everything.
I'm controlled.
It all makes sense. Yeah, that control chaos. Yeah. I love it. So when folks see you coming with that bubbly personality, and they hear you over the airwaves delivering inspiring and positive messages, they are open to seeing you in person. And with that being said, when you're out in the community, one of your initiatives is your toy drive.
Absolutely.
Let's talk a little bit about that, how that all comes into play, what all of that means, and the process of that.
So, of course, it's about Mackenzie.
Right.
I cannot
As
let
it should be.
anything go
Exactly.
without her.
Exactly.
And some people may say, well, what your kids say? My kids are her number one fans.
Exactly.
Her cousins are...
And she's giving them inspiration.
Absolutely.
She's pushing their lives forward.
Especially my son.
I could shout right now.
Especially my son.
Go, Mackenzie.
Let me tell y'all. Okay, this is a quick story. So my son plays football. He's in Northside High School in Columbus, and he'll be a junior this coming year. So he's been a sophomore this past season, but he was able to play with varsity. So this one time when the coach was allowed, because he was like number 30 something, and he was just like whatever, but they gave him the opportunity to pick his number, and he picked number 9. So he texted me because he was like,
I'm
Mama,
about to pass out.
I'm mad that you knew it before
Because
I did.
I can
you
hear,
already called it.
baby, I'm
You
listening.
already
I'm
called it.
I'm on the edge of my seat with every word that you.
already
Come
called
on, Jesus.
So TJ, my son is 10, so call him TJ. TJ texted me. He said, Mom, I know you're gonna film. I'm gonna be number 9 today. And I was like, and I got blown. I was like, what? I be number 9
You had a
for?
blood moment? Come on, E Jene.
I don't know. And so I filmed number 9. Oh, and I said, go to
That
TJ.
is
When I
hilarious.
tell you, he sacked the quarterback.
I am about to
He
cry.
got an interception. Like, he acted a fool that
Do
night.
it, Mackenzie.
He got in the car, and I said, TJ, why did you go to number 9?
You were still
I was
asking the question.
Still asking the question. He said, Mom, it was for the 9 years God gave me Mackenzie. Yeah,
Woo!
I like the pass that. I was like,
Come on, baby.
oh my God, my
Do it for your cousin.
15-year-old still honors her by playing in number 9 every chance he gets from football
Amazing,
to
amazing,
basketball,
amazing.
And he means that.
Girl, why are you doing
He
this to me?
means that. My daughter is 21.
I love it.
She works in transportation. She will only
You
ride
do not
the
look like
bus
you have a 21-year-old.
number 9.
Oh my goodness.
My kids do not play about her.
Oh,
they
my
are her
goodness.
number 1 advocates. So when it comes to what I do and I say it's for Mackenzie, that you say, what about your children? My children are 100%
All in.
behind me. Anytime
Yeah.
her toy drive is kicked off, they there. Anytime I
Yeah.
say I'm doing, they are there. Like, they are 100%. When I'm dead and gone, they will be
there
the face
for
for
Mackenzie.
their cousin.
Exactly.
Mackenzie and TJ was 6 months apart. TJ was born in February, Mackenzie was born in August. They will both be going as a junior this year. And when my sister sees my son, she just hugs him tight because
Listen,
that's what she has. from
you
her
are the
daughter.
first guest who
So-
has me in tears. I'm trying. We're at the end of the show, and I'm trying so hard to keep it together.
Yes.
But E Jene has come down here and crashed me out. And we didn't even tell the people about the toy drive. We're gonna close it out with that. Oh, that.
So if Toy Drive is about bullying students. I get so many because we do reach so many people throughout the year, and when Toy Drive now comes along, we get letters of people, babies that have overcome bullying, and that's who we
I love that.
We love on them, because if Mackenzie had given us just one more week, we were going to change her school over the Christmas holiday break, and she would have been, experienced a different life.
goodness.
But she made a very impactful decision to make this statement, and that's what we were left there. So that same year, I had bought Mackenzie and TJ. They gave me their list. I bought them everything.
Wow.
And so when she passed and I couldn't give it to her, I kept my tree up and her gifts on it for a whole year. And I was working in the school system, and this little girl was like, I want this kind of doll. I can't remember the name of the doll.
Yeah.
I was like, girl, who you talking to? And then I thought about it. I was like, wait, what doll did I give Mackenzie? So I kind of went through those gifts, and I opened
I'm about to
it,
pass
and
out.
I was like, oh, I actually have this. How
Oh,
does
my
this work, Lord? What are we
goodness.
doing?
Like, okay, God, why are you talking to me?
Like, this little fast little girl. Like, she's so
Who
sassy.
trying to get me all together?
Like, who she think she talking to? So I took it to her. I had opened it, so I had to get a cute little box or bag. To put it in.
Yeah.
She was like, "Why you open my gift, girl? Go." That's how our babies be, y'all.
That's a whole nother.
But if they
That's a whole
like
nother
you,
show.
they
Right. That's
gonna-
how
they
they.
gonna love on
Right.
you
That's
like
how
that. And that's how I
they
treat them, 'cause
connect.
they want
Right.
babies.
I
They still
love
my
that
babies.
too.
And so I said, "I got something for you, little sassy." She was like, "What you got?" And I was like, "Huh." She's like, "You got
Like,
this for me?" I said, "No, Mackenzie got that for you." And that was the very first time I brought that up, and that's where the Mackenzie Foundation Toy Drive came from. And even I told my
I
mom,
love
my sisters,
everything
and
about it.
everything that we had all bought for her, we started giving it away, and that birthed the Toy Drive.
I absolutely love everything about what you all are doing. Mackenzie is a beautiful soul. She is impacting lives even today. God is so good.
Yes, ma'am.
Listen, y'all, this has been Miss E Jene,
Yes.
who has brought me to tears for the first time in the birth of Truth Speaks, and I love everything about it. Thank you so much for coming to sit on the sofa with me, sharing your story, sharing Mackenzie with us. This will definitely not be the last time that we'll be together. You have to come back when we're debuting. Shoot, we may go to Demopolis with an on the road with Truth Speaks.
Yes.
We need
That's
to do
all I need,
that.
because I don't have a media for Democracy.
Hello.
I don't have
Media credentials right here, Truth Speaks.
Yes.
Girl, we're
Yes,
there.
ma'am.
We're there. And with that, this has been Truth Speaks. See you next time.
Damn. I'ma do my stuff. Man, damn. I'ma do my stuff.